Well, it's usually a classic fixture in the Premier League when Manchester United and Newcastle United face each other, of course, but neither side could break the deadlock in the end at Old Trafford. Newcastle saw the better side of things in the first half, but Manchester United also looked much sharper in the second. But in the end, in a day when Sir Alex Ferguson was commemorated, it ended 0-0 and staying close in the table. Luis Miguel Echegaray here, LME. Shaka, Hislop. Shaka, your reactions to Manchester United couldn't get the best out of Newcastle and equally the same way.
Well, despite it being a 0-0, I thought there were a lot of talking points around this one, though seeing that this was far from a classic. The talking points came around Ronaldo in the first half, who had the ball in the back of the net twice. Once he was given for offside, rightly so. The second, he seemed to steal a free kick that I think it was Shaka rolling back to Pope, and he just nicked in. And this one, it depends on who you support, I think is where you favor this one. While Shaka, I think it was, did roll the ball, and by the letter of the law, once the ball moves, it's in play. I think he was just intending just to knock it back to his goalkeeper for Pope to take the free kick. And Ronaldo nicked in, had it on the back of the net, and of course protests ensued. But the referee went with the Newcastle interpretation, one that, as much as I'm biased, I think is the right one. The other, Trippier on Ronaldo thought was a penalty. Ronaldo, one of the few people in the stadium who did, referee right to wave it away. Aside from that, Joe Linton hit the woodwork twice in quick succession. In what was a first 45, that didn't give us a whole lot to talk about. And then there was a second 40 that gave us not an awful lot to talk about. And then Rashford got round Pope. Fred managed to miss an empty net. And then Casemiro with a delicious outside the right foot ball into Rashford in the last minute of the game. I don't know how he managed to put that wide. But all in all, that was all the talking points. I can't remember either Pope or De Gea making saves of significant note. So while there's a lot to debate, I don't think this is one that will go down in anybody's kind of highlight reels.
Yeah, long have the days gone when Kevin Keegan would be like, I would love it. If we, that's long gone for sure. Well, to your point, Shaka, about not much to discuss. I tell you what we can discuss, though, is that obviously these two clubs have certain objectives under Erik ten Hag. Manchester United hoping to, reclaim a Champions League spot and even more silverware. But Newcastle United, of course, under their Saudi Arabian ownership, are looking to climb up the table as well. And the Premier League table is speaking that to truth. You got Manchester United in 5th, Newcastle in 6th. Shaka, here's a simple question for you, or maybe it isn't. Who is happier out of this result, do you think, when they look at the overall objective of what they're trying to do?
I think Newcastle are by far the happier. Newcastle never seemed to fare well at Old Trafford, though I say that recognizing who Manchester United are, and not many clubs can boast to go into Old Trafford and getting an awful lot, certainly not over the years. So coming and taking a point, I think Newcastle by far the happier. If you're Manchester United, again, you rue those missed chances right at the very end. But truth be told, as I mentioned, there was not an awful lot before that. So while 2 points definitely slipped away, I'm not sure that your football, certainly over 90 minutes, was deserving of all 3 points. So in terms of the race between these two, no question, Newcastle is happier, though a point doesn't serve either that well if we are talking a top 4 finish. While top 4 is certainly Manchester United's ambition, I think for Newcastle, a team that spent most of last season in the relegation places and have put together a very good run to finish off the season, right now you're thinking top 6. You're thinking that if you want to finish top 6 and bring European football back to the Northeast, a point at Old Trafford is a good step in the right direction.
I mean, it was not long ago when Newcastle United were trying to avoid relegation. And now the fact that they're trying to get some European competition is also good. Well, Newcastle United couldn't score early. Manchester United couldn't score late. In the end, it's a well-earned point, I guess, for the visitors. And everybody around them, including the teams above both these sides, are very, very happy.
so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.